Oh, we had a good half hour. We talking about Gonzo stuff. I think it's really good.
Those are just like the the late, like when I said I make 10 and just usually. Those are like 5 of them that I'm not. Those aren't even really done. I guess you could call them done. They should be done. Everyone says just stop, don't touch them. But sometimes I'll overwork them and ruin them. I'm sure any artist will agree that's an absolute factor.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you see something wrong or see something missing not to put your hands on it again.
Oh, well, Turner used to go right into the, his paintings would be hanging in the galleries. This is the 19th century. He had all those great seascapes that anticipate, Impressionism. And he would just go in and start painting.
That's great.
He was never finished with a painting.
In the gallery?
Oh, yeah, he'd go right in. But awesome. He was a guy, Kenneth Clark, the art critic.
Power move.
Said there's a guy, he had no intelligence.
None
outside of his art. And Bacon was like that. Francis Bacon, he couldn't even handle his own life. And they found out that the person that handled him was stealing from him, but he didn't care because he absolutely required this person because he couldn't function. He could function in the studio.
He didn't care because he had his art supplies.
Right, he was rich as hell.
He could do his
thing. He didn't really care.
Right.
He just needed to be able to go into his studio, which was strewn. You must have seen paintings and paint everything.
I feel like no one gets me because unless you're Bacon and famous and rich, then it's okay. But if you're not, then you're just a piece
bum.
of crap.
Well, you're a bum.
But if I was rich, people would be like, "Oh yeah, let me build you a tent in the backyard. Do you need anything? Do you need a heater? Oh, you can't have a heater now."
Are you talking about your in-laws now?
Yeah.
Hey, that's still a sweet gig though.
Okay, we're going to move on to another part of the show. Kyle's joining us.
I'm here.
And Erich Pilcher. Eric, how are you?
Hello, everyone.
Eric.
Hey, Eric.
I had to bring somebody in to defend me against the infamy of last week.
What happened last week?
I don't remember. Weren't we talking about movies?
Were we?
You are a fan, Kyle Clayton, of Quentin Tarantino.
I am a Quentin fan. I mean...
Eric?
I am a big-time Quentin Tarantino fan.
Yeah.
I don't think he's made a bad movie.
Oh. Come on, Gonzo. You be my wingman.
There's a few of them that are good, but he's overrated.
I agree. I just couldn't... Eric, I was telling Kyle, 43 minutes into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's 5 minutes of stuff in there. And then when they got to the Playboy Mansion, which didn't exist in 1969, I just because I wrote about the Manson massacre for years. It made me a
But
living.
you can't take it for what that you get.
Right.
Just like Inglourious Basterds, it's not an accurate.
Or Django Unchained.
Like he's just gonna do his thing. He's gonna take it and do his Quentin thing.
You just got to enjoy it. Don't dig too deep into it.
You can't do that.
You can't just shoot a horse and it explodes. That's not doesn't really happen in life.
We're going to connect Quentin Tarantino now to, I'm looking at you, Eric, I know you can't see me, to Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
And a critic of one of Tarantino's earlier movies, it started with a quote from, now what was the main character played by Khan? What was Khan's name in Star Trek II?
Ricardo Montalban.
But not Ricardo Montalban. His character was Singh, S-I-N-G-H.
Khan Noonan Singh.
Oh, we got a nice echo there.
I like that.
Batting.
So in one of the Tarantino movies, they have a quotation, and they give it to, say the name again.
Khan Noonan Singh.
That revenge is a dish best served cold, which is actually from North Vietnamese general in chief. I used to know his name because it took them so long to beat the Americans. And I'll never forget what a prominent reviewer said. When you watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, you probably realize he knows nothing about history or anything, that he actually thinks that is a quote from, Khan
he misattributed the quote to Khan. Khan said the quote, but But Khan said it's an old Klingon proverb.
Yes, but the
Revenge
point is
a
about
dish best served cold.
the point is about the critic was that this guy seems to have no knowledge of life outside of movies. I mean, it's. I'm just saying, Kyle. Do you have anything to say?
I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think he thinks that's the quote, but I've never read the Klingon proverbs, unfortunately. So it could be in there, John. I've never read the entire book, unfortunately. I'll have to get on that.
I concur.
There you go. But you're missing the point that this is a guy that has no frame of reference outside of like a video store.
Who cares, though?
Because it's BS.
Sometimes I like the BS. I don't like real stuff. Sometimes this
There
is an
you
escape.
go. That's
It's
the
an
type
escape.
of conversation we want.
It's an escape.
Eric, you jump in.
I
Don't you like this
didn't.
echo?
I didn't take any exception to any of the liberties Quentin Tarantino has made on history.
I do.
I think when you go into a Quentin Tarantino movie, sorry, my dog's in the shot.
The dog. We like dogs here.
We're pro dogs.
If only
Yes.
we could put the camera on the dog and you could do a ventriloquism. That would be something. Oh.
He's pretty non-cooperative on anything that requires direction.
Yeah, he's gone now. I was just watching a documentary on David Berkowitz, the Son of Sam killer, with my niece yesterday. And the dog did tell him to kill those people. Do you take any advice from your dog, Eric?
No. I mean, considering that he eats what I feed him, and I had my own horrible health issues recently, no one should take advice from Rocky.
Well, I disagree, but I am a contrarian by nature. Aren't you, Gonzo?
Yes. I've listened to my dog many times, and I don't know. I did things he did to his body, and it didn't work out.
Hey, Gonzo, would you like to go down to Eric on the Matt's show?
No. Why?
Oh, I'm just thinking. You seem to be a little
There's
distracted.
somebody
And that's
down there.
fine.
There's
No,
someone
he
down
said
there.
in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
I'm
Eric's
not
down there.
I'm not a Quentin Tarantino fan, but I could talk about dogs and everything else.
Wasn't there didn't someone try to assassinate a president because their dog told them to?
I've been doing a lot of research into John Wilkes Booth.
No.
Because of a novel I'm writing.
Wasn't it? Didn't the guy that tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan?
Yes, that was it.
do
That was it. He said a dog did it because some actress would fall in love with him if he did it.
What's her name?
Well, it had nothing to do with dog. It was Joe.
A dog told him to do it. A dog told him to do it.
It was that's David Berkowitz. The Son of Sam was the dog that told him to kill the people with the 44. Now, Jodie Foster, what's his name? Hinckley was obsessed with Jodie Foster, and he wanted to enact Taxi Driver. And one of the reasons they used to give for censorship was you didn't want a movie like Taxi Driver because it would influence people, or A Clockwork Orange. And these are two, I think Eric would agree, greatest masterpieces of film.
Oh, yes.
That they
had
would
great hair.
influence people to act very badly.
That's why cigarette companies
Yes.
wanted cigarettes in movies, right?
Oh, yeah. And you see all the product placements.
I think the thing with when people say things like that about film being persuasive, in the way they do about Taxi Driver and A Clockwork Orange, I would ask the person making that allegation specifically towards A Clockwork Orange, have you watched that film all the way through? Because Malcolm does suffer. It isn't as if Malcolm gets away.
You mean Alex the Large?
Yeah, yes. Sorry,
Played by
yes,
Malcolm
Played
McDowell.
by Malcolm McDowell. He does suffer, and it's like, people pick and choose what they want to use and what they want to reference. It's the same with Tarantino in his films. He picks and chooses.
Okay, Eric, but we're going to seg you into baseball. But I want to take a vote here because this is an argument I started with Kyle. All right, who's voting for Tarantino movies? Raise your hand.
Am I pro Tarantino movies?
Yes.
Yes, I enjoy watching them as they film. If
I-
I'm going as a historical
Yeah,
base,
my
no,
vote.
I would not go that far.
Okay.
The screen. Okay, who's against him?
So
Raise it.
I'm against him, but I also love.
A
I
couple of his
love
movies are
Jackie
great.
Brown. I don't know.
I love Jackie Brown too.
And
You
I
know,
love-
That's why
Pulp Fiction. I love those two movies. So
I love the
I
first
think
one.
Jackie
Reservoir
Brown
Dogs and
is
Jackie
his
Brown.
masterpiece.
The
Okay,
dog- yeah.
we win the anti-Tarantino people because it's my show. It's my show, Eric.
But I only have a I'm indifferent.
On your show, you win.
Sorry,
Uh-oh. I guess we got a tie now because now he's indifferent. He's
Yeah.
shifted his vote.
Well,
Hey,
you don't have to like you don't have to like everything somebody does, though. You just said you like 2 of his movies.
well, John Ford made a lot of bad movies too, but
I think Quentin Tarantino is one of the most polarizing directors, though. Most people either like him or dislike him. You hardly find a person that falls into the gray area like Gonzo does with him.
I'm kind of gonzo with my
I'm in
side.
a non-monopoly, so.
Oh, he's very talented, and I've watched his movies, but I'm an old fart now, and I only have a few years left, you know?
Better than
So I
Clint
want to
Eastwood.
watch movies that are edifying. Like, I watched Bobby Joe and the Outlaw on cable. Yeah.
On
With
cable.
Linda Carter. Holy smoke. It reminded me of The Outlaw, Howard Hughes' Western, where the advertiser said, there's 2 good reasons to come see this movie, but we'll leave it at that. There's one that you should. A drive-in classic. Hey, the Red Sox have been eliminated.
That took them that long? They're terrible.
What happened? Why do they suck so much?
Just where do you want to start?
They overachieved last season.
Who wants to start?
No, where do we sold all our top dogs. We're not going to re-sign any of. We're not going to re-sign Xander or
It's crazy.
Devers. So it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like this for a long time.
Too expensive to
I
sign people.
think
Eric?
I think last year that the Sox grossly overachieved.
Agreed.
And because last year I predicted that they would be what they were this year. I said there's going to be games where they're going to score some runs, but they can't prevent them. They don't have great fielding. And at Fenway, you need great fielding, especially on the corners.
Oh, yeah.
You
I even say center
can't-
field with that straight away, the corner there. That's why Jackie was so good.
Yup. And you have an albatross of a contract right now with Chris Sale that hasn't even come close to paying off.
Well, that's we were good at is we could before with like Epstein and whoever we had before. They would right before they might have a good year or 2 after they leave us, but you can see the decline, and we just for some reason we paid him an obscene amount of money, and we haven't even seen him pitch.
Well, no, he was a key part of the World Series.
Right.
Would you not agree?
I agree, but now we're paying him
But
to sit.
he does get hurt a lot
He's got-
And
in
that
weird
writing was on the
situations.
wall when he was with the White Sox.
Right.
I mean, there was no reason, even after the World Series, to give him that contract. Because you look at it, how many times has he made 30 starts in a season?
There's a lot of innings in that arm. That's what it comes down to, and he doesn't have the frame.
No.
Doesn't have the frame to keep doing that. And we were again before we were very good at that. Same with it's like the Patriots. You can see a year or 2 there will be decline. Yeah, they might get another All-Star or whatever, but we're not even going to break. We're going to still be in the luxury tax next year, and we're going to have nobody just because we paid all these stupid contracts and nothing came to a.
Wow, Kyle.
Now, Dan
Knowledgeable.
Shaughnessy, the last of the old guard and the Boston Globe sports writers, said that John Henry, the Red Sox owner, is just lost interest in the Red Sox. He pours more money and time into Liverpool, the football club, soccer, professional soccer. And my friend Tom Massengale has been on the show many times, said, because the Liverpool makes him more money.
It's more lucrative, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
if he doesn't want to pour the money into the team because this team's worth $3.5 billion and has so much income. Why doesn't he sell it?
It's I think it's top 5 still for in baseball. Absolutely.
Why doesn't he love us anymore?
A Yankees Red Sox game will in the late season will ratings will be better than a World Series game without either the Yankees or Red Sox in it.
Absolutely, it will.
Here's another thing that has led to the Sox decline is they hired when they got rid of Dave Dombrowski, which was very smart.
Yeah.
And he's the main culprit on the Chris Sale deal. When they got rid of Dave Dombrowski, they brought in a guy from the Tampa Bay Rays. You cannot do that. You can't bring in a guy who's used to penny pinching in a small market to Boston and have it work. It doesn't work.
That'd be like giving me and Gonzo like $1 million to like redo a room or something.
I wish it
would be you have all these things you don't need. You think you need, but you don't need, and you forget what you're actually looking for. Yeah, we can throw money at anybody, but they're not the right people. They also have to be cohesive with each other, but they're not because you're just bringing in spare parts all the time, trying to fix it, and that's not how it works.
Well, they were going to do that with Billy Beane too, weren't they? Trying to get him. He's the Moneyball guy.
Yeah,
they're trying to get him in the Red Sox, and that would be because Eric's right. You're high priced, so you can bring in big dogs.
Yeah, look at the
play that game.
An equivalent team of the Red Sox is the L.A. Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers. Look at they've created a powerhouse.
Yeah, because they took all our good players. Smart.
You got to pay. We did that too, though. We paid to win. We got Manny Ramirez.
Well, that's what you do.
We got Pedro Martinez, and at the time, those are high contracts.
We traded for Pedro.
Absolutely, Gonzo. And that's the thing is, everyone I've heard people say, well, the luxury tax isn't a detriment. If you want to win, you're going to have to pay the luxury tax.
That's the problem, is that we're not winning and we're still paying it. That's why we're just spending the money stupidly. Of course we're going to with the luxury tax.
They're relying on 3 guys in the minors right now that when they come up, it's going to be great.
It's a crapshoot.
Darren Duran, Jeter Downs,
Blaze.
and Blaze
Jordan. Baby. All about Blaze.
Well, they're usually right about those. Like, when you hear someone coming out, like...
You hope, though. You don't always know. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, but basketball.
You know that, like, Vlad Guerrero Jr. was going to be great.
We didn't. Not really. It's amazing. He lived up to it, and he as the equivalent of his father.
But you saw him performing in the minors.
Yes. Right. We saw him right here in Manchester.
But it doesn't translate always.
I agree with Gonzo. Vlad was one of the few ones that, in the minors, he raked.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Mookie
amazing.
Betts, too. When he played for... Trenton maybe at the time, or maybe Portland. He came here in a Double-A game, stole third, stole home, just did the things that you never see before. Or Jacoby Ellsbury as well. He did these things.
Same with Pedroia.
You can tell what the goods are.
Well, part of that is also an organization. The Red Sox had a very good minor league organization because you have to have the people that coach them and teach them.
But it's also it's based on the kid. You can come down from Portland, but once you're in the big bright lights of Boston, it's a whole different thing.
Baseball is the strangest sport of all.
That's what made Jacoby so cool. Like, he came up and hit 500 in the World Series as not even a rookie, really. The next year, he was considered a rookie. And he already had fandom and fame because he lit it up.
Yeah, but great minor league. There's the hell, sports hell, baseball hell is littered with great minor league players.
I will say this, though, to Kyle's point, Mike Trout, who, in my estimation, is example 1A why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are the worst run sports organization in professional sports.
Absolutely.
They don't build a team around him.
He was in Cedar Rapids played for the Colonels here, and there were people in the stands that were like, oh, he's in his mid-20s and he's still an A-ball. He's not going to be anything. You never know.
You never know.
Right, Brian Dahlbach did it.
But what goes again? It doesn't matter. Like, once you get there, it's a whole. What's his name? Zach Greinke was a great pitcher, but he's shut down because he has so much anxiety. There's so much going around. You don't know what happens once you get on the big field and stuff. It doesn't I I personally
Jackie Bradley Jr. hit better in the minor
Yeah,
leagues. He
it's
was
less
leading
pressure.
all professional leagues in like on base percentage, everything. When he came and played, you would see him here and playing for the Toronto.
But once the money's on the line, it's like
Yeah.
you're playing for a contract and stuff. It gets in your head. That's the whole thing about baseball. You get in your head too much, and you try and correct things that don't need to be corrected. You go down.
Okay, getting to a big. You have the fart button.
Of course I have a fart button.
Glenn's fart button.
Of course I
Well,
have.
we'll wait. Okay, the biggest contract in baseball history is likely to be Aaron Judge, who's having his only second good season in his career. And
He's done the right
Jacoby
things.
Ellsbury comes to mind. But what type of
Jacoby.
season is he having? We're going to go to Kyle first.
Well, the thing is, he's a monster of a human being.
He's
crazy.
a real thing, I think.
But he's substantially cut down on his strikeout ratio. So he's getting the bat on the ball, and if he gets the bat on the ball, it's gone. Especially in Yankee Stadium, which is 200 feet to the.
It's like Jim
fence.
Rice. They have the strength, they just the ball hits the bat, and the ball comes off.
He's
Yeah.
just a specimen.
He's like Ivan Drago. Whenever he hits, he destroys.
Yep.
So, John, I want to interject.
We only got
one
4
thought
minutes.
There.
Go ahead.
He'll have the highest contract for 1 year because at the end of next season, Shohei Ohtani is a free agent.
Jesus.
And
The second coming of Babe Ruth.
And Angels have him and Trout. It's crazy.
20 years, we're going to have our first $1 billion
I
contract.
should have gone to law school
afford
to become a
Ohtani.
sports agent.
Yeah, he messed
But my
up.
father wanted me to be a lawyer, and I sure showed him.
Who makes the most money per year right now?
I'm not sure.
right now, it's Juan Soto.
Mhm.
After he got traded to the Padres, he got signed to $30 million a year.
He's good. What did
I
Mookie?
thought somebody's getting $45 million, but I think
thought Betts got a pretty good one. Didn't he?
He's not hurting for money right now.
Is Betts at $40 million? No.
I thought there was some player that was getting like $45 million, but it was all like there's a back end and that.
that. To be honest.
So it'll be 2070, and he's still being paid.
Technically,
$10 million
Max
a year.
Scherzer's a
I'm gonna
3-year
go out
contract for
on a limb here.
$130 million,
I
which
think
is $40 million
Shohei
plus a
Ohtani
year.
Gets
Okay.
$50 million a year.
It's crazy in baseball. That's why they take them long-term guaranteed contracts. It's like that's why they're like 10 years or nothing because they know in year 8 you're
Wow.
gonna be the guy who's making $30 million on the bench.
Scherzer's actually making $6 million more
Like
per year than
Pedroia.
Trout is number 2 at $37 million.
Here's the thing: Marvin Miller, who was the economist for the United Steelworkers Union in '66, Robin Roberts and the guys that were created the baseball union brought him in as the head of the union. Some people want Richard Nixon to be the head of the union, but this is a real labor guy, and under him, he was so smart. They finally liberated the slaves in '76 when in the Messerschmitt decision they said that the reserve clause is only 1 year long and everybody's free after that. And what Marvin Miller, he got on his knees, and prayed, please don't listen to Charlie Finley, who should be in the Hall of Fame, who had that great dynasty in the athletics in the early 70s. Because Charlie said, let's just have free agents. They're all free agents every year. And Marvin Miller said, please, no, because that will keep their price down.
Right, absolutely.
But these long, like Richie Zisk got $2 million, which is, what a contract, $200,000 a year, which in 1977 was huge. And before Reggie got his $600,000
Guaranteed money in baseball.
Yeah, but
baby.
the thing is, it created this spiral where baseball has to pay these great salaries, and you got like Jacoby Ellsbury,
I love how you say that.
fortune with nothing, giving nothing.
As compared to football, which they
We only got a
they've
minute.
shut everything down.
It's
We'll
bull
do a
crap in
sports show
football.
soon.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, Eric, we'll do a sports show in a week or so. Okay.
I'm in.
Okay, we'll talk. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
Take care.
Eric.
Thanks for having me.
Love Eric.
Bye. And Gonzo, you get the last word. Look into the camera and.
As we approach the next primary, we are in need for a new Democratic candidate for mayor. Are you out there? If you are, we want you here.
I say Peter White.
He won't
He won't do it.
Okay. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next week.